Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm the Worm, this is the Proton. Today we're going to be reviewing on something we bought each. We bought this from modsandatties.co.uk?
No, .com.
.com on that one. Sorry, I'm a little bit ill, I'm not very all there at all.
As always. Right guys, modsandatties.com, it'll be up there and down here, of course. What we're doing today is the Stingray Black 26650 clone from Mods and Atties.
Well, it's not a clone really, I mean it's a clone
it's a clone of the Black Stingray, but there isn't a 26650 Stingray, so it's like a clone adaptation.
Original.
It's a claption is what it is. 26650 Stingray Black is what we're doing. A little bit of info on this one guys before we jump into a close-up. Mechanical mod, obviously. 26650, obviously. 46.99, so touching the 50 quid mark, but you know, hey ho, that is what it is. 650 only, obviously you're not going to get a 26500 or a 26350, but they could be good. Yeah, I think what we'll do, we're just going to chuck it straight into a close up. There's no point us sitting here chatting shit, is there? We'll do the close up, then we'll come back to us and do all that other stuff on the other side. Right guys, a quick close up of the Stingray Black 26650. So what we're going to do, we'll take it apart and have a little look. So if you're used to the Stingray, then you'll know roughly what's going on here. Bottom button, take it right out, plonk it down. Locking ring, off we go. And you've got your top cap, like so, awesome sauce. Tube. And then you have, as I said, top cap. With this you can actually unscrew that and remove the sleeve, and then you've got your adjustment there, which we'll go for in a second. Where should we start? We shall start with the top cap, I suppose. Copper, lovely. Contacts look like brass to me, but they look plated all the way around, except for that base contact. You see the colour difference there. These are a double adjustment affair, like the Chi U, as opposed to this is the normal Stingray. If I can get the top cap off, which I can't, you'll have to take my word for it. Nope, it's on there. But the normal Stingray's got a floating pin, silver coated. You can see it down there. Just a pin flops around as you shake it about. So yeah, this has got a Chi U style adjustment on it. So I mean, it's nice that you can sort of get over that, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, very simple top cap, but it's nice you can take that off for cleaning, because with this one we've never been able to get it off, so that's one thing. So yeah, that's your top cap. Tube, fairly simple, nice black tube. You've got a few holes around here, just up above where the locking ring's going to sit, and then you've got your sort of your Stingray. Now on the actual ray, you know, the 18 by 650, 500, 350 mod, this would be complete copper painted black. That isn't the case with this, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what the metal is, but stainless steel I reckon, and that to me seems like it's sort of painted on. So yeah, I mean that's that what it is, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, not really a lot more to say about that. Locking ring, 304 stainless, polished up, just slides on there, no problem. And then switch. Now on the site it does say floating centre pin, which it hasn't got. It also says magnetic switch, which if you look through there it hasn't got either. That's a spring. To take switch apart, it's a simple procedure. Push it down and unscrew. Now I'm not going to completely disassemble this, because it's a pain in the bum to put back together when you're on camera, but you'll see here, Nemesis styly. Okay, so you've got that little pin in there keeping everything where it should be, and other than that it's exactly the same as Nemesis. You know, spring underneath, pushing it up. Okay, the base section sort of, I mean, if I can get it to stay, there we go. You can have a look in there now. Spring around the centre pole, you've got your pin holding it in. This is copper, alright, but it ain't magnetic, so yeah, that's a bit of a letdown, to be honest with you. I mean, there we go. You've got to make sure your little pin goes back in that slot. This is why I didn't take it apart, because getting it back in can be a little bit of a pain. It's actually even smaller than a Nemesis one. If you screw it back together, that's simple enough. Delrin insulator around the outside there. I want to show a couple of differences between that and this ray, which we've got here. With this ray, it makes constant contact with the battery, and as you push the switch in, goes down, makes you negative with the bottom of the switch. This is a more traditional style switch where you know, push it up to get your contact. I just said to Worm, one thing that does worry me is that there's no venting in that switch, none whatsoever. Okay, now these holes down here, same as on here, would be your venting. On this, that's your venting. On this, it's not. If you look here, your thread in there, you've got your threads around the outside. Okay, on here, you've got grooves cut into them. Okay, that allows the gases to escape. So when you actually, I mean, I can try and show you this if you like, but when you've got your top cap on now, sorry, wrong cap, when we've got our bottom cap on now, like so, if I give it I'm having to blow incredibly hard to get the slightest bit of air to come out. Now, I mean, obviously with a battery it'd be further down, and people can say sort of, people can say there's a couple of holes here and here, which is great, but that would only be there visible if your locking ring was locked to position so the button wouldn't fire. Chances are you're not going to get a venting battery when your button's not in action, are you? So, you know, it's one of them things. Just put the stereo back over here. While we're in close-up mode, the size of this thing, I mean, it probably even now doesn't come across on camera how big that is. That's the battery that goes in. It's huge. To show you how big this is, that's a Qi U with a scrape on top. It's massive. Okay, Qi U's 25mm, obviously the battery's 26, so it's going to fit through guaranteed, but it puts it into perspective for you. If you're looking at one, then the battery goes in, and on we go. Now, sorry guys, phone call. Right. What I was going to say about the top cap, both Worms and mine have different issues. Mine I would consider to be worse than Worms. Can I borrow your top cap for a second, Minge? Thank you. If this is the Worms, yeah. If we undo Worms stainless steel sleeve, as you can see, looking down in there, this part of the cross or whatever here has been overcut right to the edge of the body, meaning that when you screw your copper ring sleeve dingle back on, and then chuck it on the mod just because we can, you've got a gap there. I mean, it's not a major, but it's a bit shoddy. Mine, however, will only work with certain Atties for some reason, and we're not sure why. Check the positive pins on ours. Racism, yeah. Check the positive pins on ours, and they're the same. Everything else seems the same, but for some reason certain Atties, like this little V6 dripper, the Helios, they just won't connect. They will not connect. So I'm either going to have to sort of cut away a bit of this dowel ring or get a new screw for there, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. I'm not entirely sure as to the reasoning for this double adjustment necessarily, because the Stingray's got loads of adjustment here, but you know, I mean, Worm's taken the bottom plate of his adjustment out because it's not needed. His batteries have got a bigger nipple than mine have, but even still I could do it and it wouldn't be an issue. So, you know, it's just another thing to bear in mind. There's a few flaws with this one, I think, but yeah, there you go. That's a quick close-up, guys. We'll come back up to us now and we'll have a nice little vape.
Guys, that was the up close of the copper Stingray black version. Like we said in the close-up, the tube isn't copper. We're assuming stainless steel just from the sound of it.
Scratch tested the inside.
You scratch tested it with stainless steel, was it?
It's hard to tell if it's dark in there, but it's definitely not fucking copper.
It's not copper, but you have got copper top and bottom on the actual switch where it screws in, so that's obviously going to increase conductivity, because we've got a Hades here. It definitely hits harder than that on the 50-amp battery, so it's definitely an improvement over the Hades in terms of conductivity. But other than that, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things. It's
racist.
It's a clone of a clone, scaled up. They've kind of done it the best way they could. I mean, we've also pointed out the switch not being magnet. Well, we did this as take two anyway. We don't know why it's done like this. It just is. I do want to point out before Mr. Barton goes into the actual switch of it, the actual feel of it feels the same as the magnet. I mean, it's not that much of a different push. I mean, obviously it is different because the internals are different, but the feel of it isn't, so you kind of weigh it in there.
Yeah, I mean, the feel of the switch isn't bad, but I want a magnet. You know, it's stated on the site that the switch is magnetic, and again, this is take 2 of this. So in the first note it says Phil has been busy. We spoke to him last night and the night before, and he has been manic. And I think what he's done, he's got these enlisted with the specs that they should have been, and hasn't had the time to check them over. But yeah, the switch not being magnetic is kind of annoying, especially since it's a Nemesis style switch, and it's got a little like thing that can go missing, and it's even smaller in this, as you see in the close-up. I don't like that, I don't, because I will lose that straight away. And then also the top not being a floating centre pin but a Chiyu style double adjustment affair. I mean, it's just a pain. It's not that it doesn't work, I mean it doesn't always work on mine with some of the Atties, but they do work on Worms. But you know, it's a bit of an annoyance, the same as with Worms, stainless steel sleeve, that overcut, it's annoying, you know. I mean, it's not, this isn't like £1 million or anything, but this is nearly 50 quid. So you know, you want something that's meant to be what it is, and all they've done is scaled it, you know, so it's not like, it shouldn't be hard. That's what I'm saying for that. If you want to go?
Yeah, I do think that in fact you can take the top sleeve off on this one, whereas the, I mean, I don't really know if you can do it on the proper Stingray, but on the clones we've got previously, before the brass ones, that top, the actual 510 connection, you can't actually take the sleeve off and that to clean underneath it, which is an annoyance to us because we really want to get in there and buff it up properly. But on this one you can take it off to clean it up. I mean, it's copper, it is going to need to be cleaned eventually, but it's not going to patina as quickly as brass, so it's just one of those things. It's nice, but it would have been nicer if it was all matching on mine and connecting properly on his.
There you go.
It's just one of those things. I mean, it's a clone, it's the first edition of this size being scaled up. You've got to expect something to be a little bit niggly.
Indeed. We didn't actually go into price, did we? We did at the start, but yeah, $46.99. They've got a stainless steel one as well, which is alright, you know. Let me just get some specky diggles on. Yeah, they've got a stainless steel one as well, and obviously stainless steel one, you can judge whether you prefer it. The switch will be the same, and the top cap's the same, but the tube in the middle is stainless steel. It's one of them ones, I'd like it to have been copper. It's not stated that it is, but it's been nice if it was, you know, hit harder and all that kind of stuff. As I say, it does say adjustable magnetic firing button and contacts. I mean, it is adjustable, but it's not magnetic, and it is annoying that it isn't. And you've also got brass/copper contacts, as we said. They're definitely brass, and it's weird because it seems like they've coated it all, and then they've just removed the part that actually makes contact with the battery. If you're going to coat it, then chuck some 925 stainless, some 925 silver coating on it and have it really nice. You know, what's the point of that? It's a bit floating positive pin. It's not floating. It's manually adjusted. So yeah, it's one of them ones, guys. But you know, we'll go over more in our 5-point hitter, which
we'll start now.
Yeah, we're 30mm by the way, guys. 30 fucking millimeters. Yeah, we'll start at 5-point hitter.
The looks on this, it's a 10. We really like the black copper Stingray in 26650. We didn't get one, but
18650.
18650, sorry, and then but we got the 26650, and it looks as good as the other Stingray, to be honest. I mean, in fact, I think it looks better because I like the black model.
He likes a bit of black.
Yeah. I've been tempted to buy the black cave one a few times, but kind of held off. But I'm kind of pushing that way now. But this, as it is standard, I think it still looks really well. I mean, there is a slight niggle at the top with the it not lining up on the actual air on the grooves on the top is slightly wonky, but you know,
it has much of an issue if you've got an Attie that fitted over the top of it,
no.
But you can see it with every Attie we've got.
So it's just kind of one of those things. It's annoying at the moment. As soon as I find a 26650 drip or a tank that comes out, then I won't even see it, so it's not a problem. But 10, yeah.
Looks for me. I mean, it looks good. I mean, from a distance, I think it looks sick as arseholes. But I mean, up close, the Stingray itself is a bit. You can tell it's paint. You know, that's what kind of drew me to it straight away. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to show you on camera whether autofocus will work. But oh, there you go. Look, that's lovely. You can see there. You know, it's a bit. It's a 10 from far away. Up close, really under like sort of scrutinous detail, I'm going to give it an 8 just because. I'd rather it be black. I'd rather that paint not be in there, if I'm perfectly honest with you, and it just be engraving. Is what it is though, yeah, so I'm going to give it a 9 overall because them two marks 8 and 10, so 9 overall for me on looks.
Usability. It's not that hard to use. I mean, you've got the double adjustment for the chi, so as long as you ain't got Mr. Proton's one, it will connect to pretty much all your atomizers and you won't get any battery rattle in there, so that's good. It would have been nicer with, I would like the double adjustment with that, the second pin that actually has the actual connection to the 510 to be floating. That would be not, or spring loaded or something like that, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just the adjustment on the battery rail you've got to worry about. But you know, again, little niggles on adjustment. I mean, it's not hard to adjust. if you can connect to everything like I can, but other than that, it's not hard to use. You maintain the contacts, and you pretty much put a fully charged battery in. I mean, as long as your battery's charged, it's pretty much all you really got to maintain on this. I mean, it's black, so you haven't got to really clean it too much. I mean, the copper's not overly prevalent with what you can see, so even that hasn't got to be overly maintained. So it's literally a little wipe over every now and then, and your contacts and your battery. So usability of this is going to be a 10.
When usability is a mech mod, isn't it? You charge your battery, you bang it in, and you just stick it out on top. You're laughing. You have got to do the adjustment for the pin, which with most Atties will be fine. I mean, this is a Trident. A lot of Atties now come with adjustable centre pins themselves. So I mean, for most Atties, say 90%, it's not going to be a problem if yours is like mine. If it's like Worms, it won't be a problem at all. But I mean, that in itself, a bit of inconsistency, you know. Other than that, I mean, it's a Stingray, isn't it? You chuck your battery in and you screw your you screw your switch up and your lock ring is a quick whoosh, and it's very fine threading on this. You can just spin it and you're away, you know. So yeah, usability, I'm going to give it a 10. I don't think it's hard to use at all.
Maintenance, again, maintenance kind of comes under usability with mechanical mods a lot of the time. Like, basically keep your contacts clean, charge your battery. I mean, other than that, if you don't want to clean it, you don't have to. It's entirely your choice. So I mean, even on this, you're not going to have much to clean. It's literally a wipe over. So it's going to be a 10. There's not much to maintain on it at all.
Maintenance for me, cleaning contacts. That's about the strength of it. I mean, it doesn't really hold fingerprints too well, which is good. You can give it a little buff up and make it look all spit and polish if you want to. Yeah, so maintenance for me is going to be a 10. It's easy, isn't it?
Build quality and price. Overall build quality is going to suffer a little bit. I mean, everything that threads together is lovely. The actual build quality of the tubes and the switch itself, lovely. It would have been nice to have magnetic switches in there, but again, it's racist. We're not saying that the build quality of what it's been built to is lovely. The problem we've got is that his doesn't connect on all atomizers. Mine isn't lining up everywhere exactly right. So, I mean, the build quality of each individual part is probably sitting around about a 9 because not everything's lining up. But overall, build quality 7 because it's just inconsistent. It's not got that consistency at the moment. It's a first go at this, so you kind of expect it, but it's going to be a 7. But for price, would I pay 45 quid again for one of these? Yeah, I mean, 45 quid is pretty much standard price for mechanical mods out there. I mean, a lot of them like hit around 40 to 80 quid, kind of standard price. I mean, you got your higher end ones, which are obviously in your 100 pluses, that, but you know, 50 quid for this delivered, I'm happy. So the price, I would pay again. This is a 10.
Build quality and price. Build quality, I mean, what's there isn't necessarily bad. I mean, the ring feels nice, the tube feels solid as hell, the top cap's nice, the switch itself is nice. So build quality, I'm going to give it a 10, but consistency, as Worm said, to 7. Price $46.99. I mean, seeing as a standard race, $40.99. It's only 6 quid more, and it's, you know, poof. So yeah, poof. Yeah. So for price, I mean, yeah, I think $46.99. I don't think that's too sad at all. So I'm going to give it a 10 for price. Build quality versus price. I think you're getting an alright build for your money. So I'm going to give it sort of a 9 overall for that build quality and price. Yeah, I think it's not bad.
Overall, I would buy this again. I mean, I like it. It's one that appeals to me. I've been looking for like a nice black tube mod for quite a while that I actually want to use all the time. We've just gone up to the 26650s, both of us now. So
it's the year of the 26650.
It is the year of the 26650. Am I sad with this purchase? No. I mean, there are slight niggles, but we can't stress this enough. This is a clone of a clone made big. You know, there's going to be a little bit of you know, iffy time. You know, it's going to happen. It happened with the 18650s when they first started cloning them. There was niggles and that with all of them, and it's going to be the same with this again. It's kind of one of those ones where you got to grin and bear it. Would I buy this again? Yes. Would I recommend you buy one if you want a 2650 mod? Yes, I would. I mean, the thing is lovely to use. I mean, it's big, don't get me wrong. Maybe not someone out there with like smaller hands is going to have a little bit of problems because you have got a double finger this much of the time, sort of thing. It's not. It's more for the people with big hands really than anything else. But if you're looking at a 2650 mod, then this is one that I would say it's worth a punt. I mean, we've got the Hades, which will be coming up soon as well. Again, that's another good mod, but I definitely prefer this over it. So even with its niggles, so I would recommend it. I think overall it's a 10. You've just got to be aware of some of the issues that are going to be happening with this when it first comes out.
I think overall Worm's forgotten one thing, but we'll get into that in a second. Overall, in general, I mean the niggles that we've mentioned so far can kind of live with, you know, it's not a big deal. If I have to, I can remove that sleeve because it is removable at the top and run them Atties that won't connect, but I'll customise it and make that connect. So that's no biggie. The price I think isn't too bad. I'm struggling at the minute. I like the mod, I do like the mod. I'm not entirely sure whether it's the batteries I'm in love with though. You know, at the minute I'm thinking yes, but I think it may be the fact that I can run like 0.08 ohm coils or something on a 50 amp battery. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure whether it's the battery I'm in love with or the mod at the minute. Okay, I'm not going to lie, you know, I mean I like the mod, but fuck it, I want the batteries. The main problem with this, and it is a big one, is the venting, or lack of venting, to be honest with you. Now, with these 2650 batteries, especially these 50 amps, or if you've got the MNK 30 amps, them two batteries, the same as there was an 18650, were encouraging you to run low coils. Well, they're encouraging me to run low coils. They may have been encouraging you to get a bit more under load, but that's what they say to me, get it low, get it low. But, I mean, I won't undo the switch at the minute. I'll leave this where I've been running it with this Attie on. And I'll have a blow. There is none. You might get a very, very small bit of air out with a load of pressure behind it, but not really. That's the problem. I mean, we've had, what else did we have that had no venting before? We've had a couple of mods that had no venting before, and you know, it's been issues. I mean, I spoke to someone who designs mods the other week, and they were speaking to a manufacturer and they said they wanted to include some venting in their switch or in the tube, and the manufacturer said, well, it's not truly airtight because the screw threads aren't airtight, you know, they will give under an extreme load. That's true, but will they give before other parts of this mod do? That's the problem. And even when they do give, they're given with force. This is the idea of venting. And with these batteries, I mean, this is a 0.11 ohm coil. You couldn't run this on an 1800 mod, put it that way. If this vent is going with some force, and the lack of venting means I can't recommend this at all. At all. I mean, I love it. I love the batteries. I like the mod, but you know, if it has an explosive vent, if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, whatever else, you're in trouble, aren't you? Let's be fair. And yeah, there is holes in it if you undo the locking ring. But as we said in the close-up, you undo the locking ring, chances are you're not getting a vent like that. Chances are you're getting a vent because you've got it up and you're firing something you shouldn't be. And yeah, it's not good, I don't think anyway. I have heard that there is someone making inserts for these, like Delrin inserts or rubber inserts for these, so that you could use an 18650 in your 2650 mod. I mean, as cool as that is, to me it seems pointless. Why would you want something that size and run an 1800 series battery in it? But I mean, there might be something to look into. But no, I mean, that's an issue, I do think, and I think China should know better by now. I mean, as Worm said, it's a clone in the first, or no, you've got the copper Stingray, they cloned that in an 1800 series because they had something to clone from. In this, they've had to take it up and step it up off their own back, and
they've missed something.
They've missed something big, yeah. They've missed something big. I mean, the magnetic switch or whatever, that's just them being, that's just trying to do what they're trying to do. No racism intended, but you know, you speak to manufacturers, yes, we'll do this, love you fun time, and then you get something through and they haven't delivered, and then 6 months later stuff will follow that it should have been there in the first place, and then there's upgrades which should have been there in the first place, you know. But the lack of venting is yeah, it is a problem. I mean, you could fill this thing with water and leave it overnight, and I don't think you'd have a wet spot on your table. I mean, with that little bit of air that does come out, you've got to put so much. It hurts me when I get it to come out, and you can't feel it coming out, you know. So yeah, no, I can't say that that's good, because it's not. So overall, before the vent, if this venting wasn't an issue, the overall would be a 9 on this for me. Because of the venting thing, it's getting a none. It is. No, I'm sorry, I can't give something any mark that I can't recommend. And the reason you can't recommend it is, look at the Stingray 20. You know when we did the SIG 20 and it had that dangerous switch, it caused that battery to vent on me. We couldn't recommend that. We liked it, and we sat there and said we like this mod and we would buy it again, and I would buy this again. But would we recommend that you buy it? No, I wouldn't. Which is a shame, because you know mods and Atties don't usually have these kind of issues. And again, it's not necessarily mods and Atties issue; they're just a retailer. But you know, it's something that definitely needs to be taken into consideration and thought about when you buy this, because yeah, don't fuck it up basically, because you're going to hurt yourself, and then by association the entire industry if you then go to the newspaper and go, look, I bought this mod and it was told to me it's fine, even though I watched Ron Prime's video and it said it had no fucking venting, blew my face off, now I'm off the compo. Yeah, so yeah, it's not good. There we go. Anything else you want to?
No, I mean, I still like it. I still think for people out there that know what they're doing, they'll be fine. I mean, people out there that generally buy this sort of stuff will customise and stuff anyway. I mean, if you want to draw a hole in your body for venting, that's entirely up to you. But to me, I'm aware of the risks. I pretty much don't push anything as low as he does, so there's pretty much minimal chance that my battery's going to vent ever. I mean, there's always that off chance, but because the batteries can vent. But I've never had one do it to me on yet, as of yet, and I don't feel this one's going to do it now. I don't push anything pretty much low as 0.8.
Don't have, the thing is, you don't even have to push hard though, do you? You can have a short in your Attie, and that can cause a vent. Yeah,
but you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I mean,
he's living on the edge.
I still like it, and I think if you want one, you should go get one. But obviously, you've got to be aware of the issues with it.
We're making you aware of them, basically.
I mean, I still would recommend this thing, because you can quite happily drill a hole in the body. You've only got to put a small hole in the bottom down by the back of the switch. You probably won't even notice it when it's there. It's just one of those things. But you know, it's entirely up to you what you want to live with. I mean,
the thing is, them drill holes in the threads, like over there, that would solve this. That's not a big thing to do, and then it would vent out the bottom where it's supposed to. The thing that makes me laugh is they've even included the vent holes in the switch. It's just they haven't allowed it to vent through the switch, which is redonkulous. Well, that's what I think anyway. Obviously, that's what Worm thinks. What do you think, Grant? It's thumbs up over there from Grant. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done.
Mine's got a little bit of airflow,
yeah, but then stick it onto the mod.
But it's still going to have the airflow, though, isn't it?
No. You jolly great Wally. Look. It screws over them threads, so you've got that bit there. It covers it. It covers it.
Oh, you can quite easily mod that switch. I don't really see many people problems. No, you're just being a big biff.
You're just fucking an arse. I mean, you have got, because it's so big, you have got a bit of room around there. You could get a maybe a 1.5mm drill bit next to that dowel ring and give yourself some vent holes. But I mean, that would solve it, China. That would solve it. But the fact of the matter is, guys, you're buying this and you shouldn't have to get your DeWalt out and your metal drill bits to drill through copper and potentially risk breaking it. And if you are going to do it, chances are you'll do it as soon as it arrives. And if you do break it, it's not Phil's problem, it's yours. So, you know, that's...
I do agree it should come as standard, but you buy this knowing this now.
For those of you tinkerers out there, I mean, if you want venting, I mean, I'm not going to bother, to be honest with you. If it blows up, it blows up. I'll just throw it at a pull and run. But... it's alright. But, you know, it's just... We was chatting the other day and we said China really up their game. You know, in the last... I mean, we've only been vaping, what, 14, 15 months, something like that? 15-ish months. And when we first come into the market, there was a lot less than there is now. So people who are coming into this market now should be really sort of grateful for what there is, you know. And people a year before us were saying the same about when we was vaping. So in a year's time, epicness. But just when you think, even fast text clones are good now. Pardon me, not that some of them weren't before, but you know, you're paying a bit more and you're actually getting more now.
You're going a bit off topic now.
I know, but whatever. And then they release this with no venting. It's just a step back, in my opinion, anyway. So, yeah, whatever. I don't care if I'm on topic or off topic, or partially beside it. But yeah, no, just when you think they're up in the game and cock it up again, didn't they? Racist. Are we done?
Yeah.
We are pretty much done. Right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Mr. Proton. This has been The Worm. We'll see you soon.